I don't know, Paytopia. There you go, something like that. Anyway, asked only those who answered with C, which is the credit card. You know, if you spent 18% on your credit card. So they asked, after purchasing Bitcoin on your credit card, have you paid off your credit card balance? 77.8% said I paid off my credit card balance after purchasing Bitcoin. Only 22% said I did not pay off my credit card balance after purchasing Bitcoin. So, with that being said, kind of reverse parallel from what I said earlier, you know, majority was not. But you see the majority of people have common sense. 77.8%, nearly 80% did pay back off the credit card, the entire balance after purchasing Bitcoin. And then only 22%, which, depending on how you look at that scale, is that worldwide or is that countrywide, or is that, you know what I'm saying, like United States only, or did they go worldwide on that? Likely it's only United States. You know, 22% of America that's investing in cryptocurrency, considering there are 8,000 plus exchanges now and over 4,900. You know what? Wait, I'm sorry. I said 4,900. I don't think it's 4,900. Let me correct myself real quick. CoinMarketCap, where did you go? I lost it. No! Come back to me. Bitcoin. So it looks like Coinbase currently is Ethereum SINs are temporarily offline. So you know, don't hang yourself up on that. Let me go to CoinMarketCap. I guess I got knocked out of my other account. Let's see. Thank you for everybody for watching. Like and subscribe if you like any of my content. If you got any advice for me to improve my videos besides rambling, please let me know. I wish I had a nice camera to take these videos with, but I don't. So, with that being said, you'll just have to bear with me. Okay, so let's see. So we're done with Fidelity for now. So let me try this again. For some reason, it's not loading. There we go. All right. So Bitcoin's currently at $11,200, which if you don't know, in August, the Bitcoin price was $5,000. So if you bought back in that time prior to the major spikes up to 20 grand, you were still in the clear. However, if you bought at anything above 14,000, you're likely pissed off right now, which is okay. I would be pissed off too, but it is very volatile, very risky. And the moment you saw it going down, when it hits an all-time high, you don't know how high it's going to go. So being greedy will get you burned. Fearing too early can also get you burned. However, in this moment where Bitcoin hit $20,000, I sent all my stuff to other exchanges. Anything I had in Coinbase, immediately, because all of them followed. Ethereum followed, Litecoin followed. Man, I had turned $40 into like a couple $100 in Litecoin. You know, over a certain amount of time just by buying and selling. And it was amazing because you get it low, you sell it high, and the same thing with Ethereum. And when the price falls, you utilize that, right? Now, the Bitcoin hit like 9,000 the other day or something like that, and now it's back up to 11. So even if you waited, you bought at 9, and boom, you bought right back and you made 11. So depending on how you can justify your spending or your calculations of profit versus loss, if you bought at 20, you're $9,000 as a whole if you bought one coin per se. So almost 50% down. So we'll just say 40% to give you a better guesstimate there. You could you eat it, you waited till it went back up to 16, 17 a few days later, and you sold it back off, hopefully not at 12, but you waited till 15, 16, 17, you sold it back off again. So now you're only down about 25%. So then you utilize that, you sold it, you got your money. Now, okay, you know what? Price is going to go down again. Thought somebody was at the door. Price is going to go down again. Okay, look. Oh my God, it went to $9,000. What do I do? What do I do? It's going to crash. It's going to crash. No. Ultimately, you watch it. And we'll talk about Dipcoin in a second. You watch it, and now it starts going back up. Well, guess what? You popped $100 in there. And it just went up to 11,000. You just made, what, 20%? So now you have that. You either hold it in there and let it keep rising, or you send it to somewhere and trade it. Now you have 20 additional dollars. Now what I will say is Bitcoin is pretty expensive when it comes to sending away because they're charging you those transfer mining fees for the processing of the transactions. Ethereum ultimately is still the cheapest, Utilize shapeshift.io to send. Make sure you send it to the right place. You must have a wallet to receive the coins. Whatever you're sending or trying to trade for must be able to be held in a wallet otherwise that you have. Do not send the wrong one to the wrong one. You will lose it. I guarantee you. I'm still trying to get my 6,000 fast coins back that are now worth $250 out of 25 bucks. So I am a little upset right now, but I will find every possible way. If anybody on here knows specifically on a Windows HP Intel 7 processor, I think it is, how to get my wallet to sync, please comment below, message me, footballman24, hotmail.com, and help me get that thing synced up. I will send you 100 fast coins just for helping me get it synced up. Guaranteed, whatever address you provide, I will send you 100 fast coins. Even if the price spikes to $500 a coin, I'd cry about it for a minute, but I would do it. I'm a man of my word. Again, none of this is financial advice. This is strictly my opinions. Your money's your money. My money's my money. I don't give you my money to spend, and I would probably not want you to give me yours to spend for you. I strictly can give you my opinions, which is my own advice that I take myself. Take it with a grain of salt. Take it however you want to. It is all my opinion, not financial, do this, do that. So, real quick, Dipcoin. We talked about it the other night on Livecoin, and it is currently, let me go back to the main page. Remember, we talked about it the other day saying it was the most pumped. 2 days later, it was the most dumped. And then it went back up. I bought it on about a midway low, and now it is back down all the way 14.5% down. So right now, I've got, let's see what I got wrapped up in there. About 115 bucks. So 14% of that. So this was actually at 140 the other day, and now it's down to 115. So total 14%, 14.5%, 24 hours, and whatever percentage is down prior to that. And it's funny because some of the ones that I don't think are actually moving well are the ones that are holding on the best. I got very little Doge. Like AdsCoin, ADZ is actually outperforming a lot of the other ones when it comes to percentage gains versus down. So it's pretty neat actually. But Dipcoin has been a flip, so it seems like it's getting pumped up, sold off, pumped up, sold off, which is fine. People utilize to make money, but later on, those companies, or not companies, but those tokens, if you look at that one that kind of extends the guesstimated value at certain points of time, it's pretty high on some of those tokens. Like one was like 800 bucks, by 2021, and I'm like, wow, that's only a couple years away. And I got, say if I had 500 of them, it goes to $800. I'm be feeling pretty good. Or it could be like Binance, go up to $26 and then drop back to $13. But hey, matter of fact, let's look at BNB real quick and see where she ranks at on the list. Typing in right, BNB, Binance Coin. Again, that's for the Binance Exchange, my favorite exchange. Yep, it is chilling at $13.19. All the volatility spiked between December and January. Let's take this Bitcoin price away, and let's see, get that out of there. It's so cool on CoinMarketCap. You can take away any. They got the market cap price, price US in dollars, price in Bitcoin, and price in Ethereum, and 24-hour volume under that. And it shows you, exactly what you're looking at. You can log scale it to where you can see it full blown across, kind of a mountaineer type thing, or you can look at the linear scale where it's showing you mainly up and down, but still in form of mountaintops. And you can look at retracement all day on that, and you can see where I'm pretty sure that Binance is going to return somewhere to a higher level. But it did at that one time hit this all-time high of 24.46. On Binance, it was at 26. I saw it with my own eyes. And it's only been around for since August when they opened it up. I mean, I saw that sucker at 25 cents, and I kicked myself in the butt all the time thinking about it. 27 is where the rank is at on CoinMarketCap. One thing I will say, there's one thing I looked at that was pretty neat. I put on Crypto Hedger, I did mention something about it. And what I will say is that I think it was Global Charts. And it gives you, total market cap, period. And market cap for cryptocurrency total, including Bitcoin, is unreal. All-time high. Let's see, January. We get to the top of the mountain. Get up there. January 7th, 2018, total market cap, $813 billion, 871 million US dollars. That's how much money's flowing in crypto on January 7th. And now it's back down to about, where'd it go? 554 billion. So we're still really high, but 300 billion off. And what I did see, you mentioned the credit card thing, what I did see is that the entire market cap apparently chopped down. That's why you see Bitcoin at like 198 billion now. And it chopped down so hard because the credit card factor. You can't use your credit card to purchase anymore. So a lot of people, they quit buying it with their bank account because that's their spending money, you know, versus the credit card is, well, you know, it's a credit card, I'll pay it off later type thing. And that's the mindset a lot of people have. You have to be careful with that. So 24-hour volume is 200 and, let's see, space, 27 billion. So 27 billion, 27.5 billion in the last 24 hours is being consistently traded in the markets of cryptocurrency. That is a lot of money. And as I said a while ago, there's 1,494 current cryptocurrencies released. And I know there's ICOs all over the place waiting to get released. Oh, wait, what about Russia? Aren't they going to restrict or regulate Bitcoin? Well, maybe. What they're going to try to do ultimately is to kind of capture the people that are mining a lot, making a crap ton of money on mining, which personally, if you're using your own power materials and you're paying your power bill and you're still making money, why are you getting fined for making money? Thank you, government. Congratulations for being a bunch of a-holes. Right. So, you made a large capital return. We're going to charge you 40% on that. Right. What are you getting taxed, Chief? Anyway, so without my, ridiculous, bite-offs there, percentage total market capitalization dominance. So who is dominating the entire market cap? Of course, Bitcoin. But let's look at this last little spot here, and I mentioned this in my Crypto Hedger post on Facebook, and the other coins are 24.5%. All the altcoins, with the exception of what they have listed here. So without Neo, IOTA, Monero, NEM, Dash, Ripple, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, and Bitcoin, the others are all of those other 1,400 plus cryptocurrencies that are making now 24.5% of the entire market cap. That's saying a lot. There's lots and lots of volatility moving around. Bitcoin is at 34, of course, percent, still highest, and Ethereum is 18%, and then you can break that down with the rest of these across. I got them all marked out so I could see, the ones I actually care about. Litecoin is still doing okay, but Ethereum was 18%, so you got half of Bitcoin market pretty much in Ethereum, or half of the crypto market in Ethereum, and then the other 24.5% versus, those other few percentages of the other ones. So 24.5%, that was 22 the other day, and now it's steadily moving up. So in my opinion, in the next month to 2 months, supposedly February 1st, something is supposed to happen to crypto, and it's supposed to go like quintuple through the roof or something, according to some of these, backdoor type website advertisements, and it makes you wonder what's really going to happen. So if the market cap suffered because of the Korean exchanges and the Japanese exchanges, shutting down or limiting or whatever they did, and you killed Ripple, killed it. It went way down compared to what it was, 100-something billion plus to like 53 billion now, versus you got let's see what's happening next. The Russian thing, trying to regulate mining and whatever. They're going to allow you to mine, but you're going to have to register your miners according to what the bill released, some detail, and we'll find out more, of course, later. But what you need to look at is, okay, so if those two countries did this and this and this, and it took out that much of the cap, what happens when they do it to Russia? And then what happens if America jumps in tax? Well, America's trading Bitcoin futures contracts, if I'm not mistaken, unless they stop that. Let's Google search real quick and say, what's the status of Bitcoin What's the status? So I can type right here. Bitcoin futures contracts. I don't know how to utilize future contracts as a whole, besides using what is it, nadex.com or whatever, which I personally think was a huge scam to an extent. Now, I've made money on there, but I also lost money on there, and I watched. You know, I don't know how they had it programmed. I'm sure it was bots to get you, you know, to put certain prices in and things like that. But when I would put a sell order in at $99.75, and then next thing you know, I put 10 orders in or so, or hell, even at 25-cent, you know, risk, and then I get charged, you know, $1 per contract. So they're getting $1 per contract guaranteed. And if you only had a couple of contracts, you're not going to make any money, you know, versus, you know, unless somebody bought them at $99.75. And that's how that worked when I figured out the flip switch of it. Okay, when you put a sell contract on, if it's getting to where it's 50-50, hey, it's going to cross the line or not at this time, and somebody buys your sell for $99.75, you just took $99.75 minus $1. So now you're up $98.75 on a $1.25 risk, which is amazing. That's what they preach is mitigate risk, mitigate risk, mitigate risk, limited risk, limited risk, limited risk. Yeah, but you're limited once you figure out how to really play the game. And I keep saying play the game because that's essentially what, I'm not going to say it's gambling, but I am going to say if you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. Play on the fake account. But the problem with playing on a fake account, unless you're actually utilizing strategies to use on the fake account, you're hurting yourself because you're not going to learn anything. You're just getting lucky, and that is gambling. So what happened was I would keep lowering the price down against myself ultimately. So now it's costing me more money to put this contract up on the option for the binary option for Nadex. So I would put in, you know, $99.75, and then all of a sudden, if somebody gets it, that's great. I only have one. How hard is it to get one contract filled for real? And then you look at it, it's like, oh, okay, it's going to be the 250 that are in front of you at $99.75 also, or $99.50 just to keep you off the rim there. And so what would happen is I would bump down in the moment that I put 99, 59 or 49 or 30 or 25, whatever points you wanted to put, immediately, there's no way somebody was watching that shit that close. And unless they already pre-purchased that many contracts at that point to be able to fight me the entire time down, but once I got down to about $91, so I'm paying $9 plus the dollar for the contract per every contract, you know, up to 50. So I'm putting, you know, say now I'm risking $18 on two contracts per $20, we'll say with a dollar contract price. So $20 now that I'm risking instead of 50 cents plus $2, so $2.50. So instead of $2.50, I'm risking $20. And now it allows me to go in and that one with the 250 stays on top. Is it smart? Is it somebody else taking advantage of limit or sellers or whatever? Maybe. Is there like a higher premium level of Nadex you can get that allows you to do crazy stuff like that, putting limit stop orders or whatever? Maybe. Maybe not. Because I had a formula down packed, man, and I was making some money. I mean, within 15 minutes on 5-minute binaries, I figured out how to gauge which one was doing the most up, you know, bull up, and I would wait and look at it and put a limit order buy on ones that were like $85, $90, and the people that feared the fact of it going down sold off. As soon as that price dove down to whatever list I put on, mostly $12 to $20 range, and it shot right back up to $85, $90 when the graph goes back up, I sold off. And then I started adding contracts. And man, I made $1,800 in 15 minutes. It was crazy. And then as I kept going, my phone glitched. Boom. 3 contracts worth at this price, gone. Price went down real quick. Now I'm down to $1,200. Pew, pew. Did it again. How did my phone glitch twice? Okay. I get it the first time. Freak accident, whatever. Went down again. And was it because I was being greedy, trying to get more? Or was it because my formula was seen somehow by a binary or by a person or whatever, and they were just crushing my orders at the same time, or glitching my receiving on that side, you know, because I figured out how to count cards, so to speak, play the game, because I was up big time, rolling. I mean, I would have, if I'd have stuck with that for an hour, I probably would have had a couple $1,000 easy. And it just all got taken away. And the same amount of time it took me to get it, it went right back down the drain. Thus far, calling it gambling. So, I learned from my mistakes. I quit using Nadex pretty much altogether, though I spent money on education with Nadex, their classes, you know, whatever the guy's name is, I can't remember. I'm not knocking Nadex, because if you know how to read specifically analytics, and you can chart graphs very well, you can easily gauge a bull market. You put your contract timeout in front of you. You know, you want it to be, you know, it's more expensive to go, you know, in the money versus out of the money type situations. And there's people selling strategies that they work, but it's a lot of money for some of those strategies. And if you're not turning around 80% or better, depending how big your contracts and your risk is, you might be losing more than you're making. And you have to gauge that. You really do. You can't just jump in, throw $1,000 on it and make it. Because if you do it in a virtual account or a paper account or fake account, you can make, man, there was a kid I worked with, I told him about it. He opened it up just to play with it, paper account. This sucker made $300,000. I watched it. I was like, how'd you make $300,000? He's like, oh, I just put like as many contracts as I could on something that looked like it was going up. And he got lucky. So you didn't do it on a real account. You know, if that was the case, that would have been amazing. So anyway, real fast. Let's see. I want to get the most recent return here on my search result of what's the status of Bitcoin future contracts. 14 hours ago, latest updates, cryptocurrency value holding steady. Let's see, because people can make a lot of money on contracts, futures. Let's see, cryptocurrency value remains steady after heavy recent falls. What's Bitcoin? We already know all that. We don't need you to tell us. Man, I hate pop-up ads. Let's see. It's Monday, January 22nd. Concerns trading was going to the ban in South Korea. Okay, here you go. Amid concerns that trading was going to be banned in South Korea, it then stabilized briefly before plunging again. Volatile cryptocurrency hit a record high when it passed $19,850 in mid-December, but then tumbled rapidly, falling below $12,000 within days. Its value has shifted up precedently ever since, with frequent wild drops and recoveries. However, it now appears to have stabilized. It's worth $10,009 or $11,100 or $2,000 or $12,000, depending on what you're looking at. I've seen some exchanges trading at $16,000 still, so you might want to pay attention to your coin market cap there, Chief. Let's see, Gadget and Tech News, that ain't got nothing to do with Bitcoin. Let's see. Its value is down less than 2% from a week ago, down more than 30% from a month ago, and up more than 1,100% from a year ago. All those people that invested prior are still in very good condition. South Korean government this week announced that from 30th January, nobody in the country will be able to trade Bitcoin and other digital currencies anonymously. Which means, what does that mean? That is very interesting. So let's open that in a new tab and see what the crap they're talking about. Because I don't know ultimately how you would trade anonymously unless you're on the somehow these exchanges that don't require any real information besides just an address receiving and sending. So therefore, places like Shapeshift may get crippled. I don't know. We'll see. I don't understand how you can really stop the internet without some like massive electromagnetic pulse type thing.
Bitcoin.
Oh my gosh, mania. Let's see. UK government could introduce similar measures. Recent goings on demonstrated just how quickly things can change for investors. Cryptocurrency value plummeted ahead of Christmas, dropping by almost 2,000 in an hour at one point and almost slipping below 11,000 mark. It then bounced back before tumbling again in mid-January. It's notoriously volatile. We already knew that. If you're trading cryptocurrency, you should know that. Same thing with penny stock. Same thing with Mojo. Mojo freaking went up 1,600%, but you don't hear him talking about that. No, because it's a system. And also because of the stock market. Okay, the stock market's never going to go anywhere. Likely, I doubt it'll ever go out of existence. It might change forms, but ultimately, I don't think it's going anywhere. Cryptocurrency, on the other hand, is the future, and it will be used. I can almost guarantee, in my opinion, that it will be the future. Will it be restricted to an extent? Sure, but I mine on my laptop that I have for Ethereum. It's called Bitcoins 43, I think it is. You should check it out. It's kind of like a mining pool type thing on your laptop. Use the CPU or GPU, depending on how you set it up. And I mean, I haven't got any real return off of it yet because I just started. And you got to get your calculation of CPU percentage used. If you use the computer a lot, don't put it too high. It might freeze up on you. Like I got the fingerprint activator to let me in, and I had to restart the computer just to allow me to get back in the computer at one point because it was pretty much, the CPU was going so slow. I had it at 70% and 40 threads. If you all know what that means, if you mind, and yeah, my laptop couldn't handle it. I'm surprised it didn't burn up. But I mean, at this point now, I'm using like a 40% to 20 thread ratio, and it's working really well, turning around way faster results than what it did before. I have not withdrawn anything off of it yet because it hasn't reached the withdrawal point, and that is, I believe, 0.01 Ethereum, which is like, what, $100? So it's going to be great, but you know what? What is that? Let me go to Coinbase real fast. Buy and sell. Let's see what it is. My withdrawal, if it was 0.1, and you can do that on there, any day of the week. Oh wow, I'm so sorry. It was $12. Right. So I don't think that was right. I think it was 0.1, and 0.1 is $100. My minimum withdrawal was 0.1, and it takes quite a while to get there. If you do any mining on your phone or anything like that through applications, then you already know that it takes a long time, unless you got a really fast phone. Now, what I will say is Bitcoin price plunging. Here we go. See. Serious fears that Bitcoin has created a bubble that could burst at any moment. Numerous financial experts are advising potential investors to avoid getting involved with Bitcoin. And SEC has told people to exercise caution and be wary of scammers. Yes, those ICOs that people are pumping out there, getting rich fast. But you got to think about it. If they make, I don't know, 10, 15, 20, 30, 50 million dollars, and the lawsuit, they're going to settle with most people. Oh, we lost the money, or whatever the case, wherever the money is, they're not going to find it, once they hide it, right? If they do, and investors that invested in those ICOs based on pure hype or celebrity upbringing, whatever, they might get a little bit back. I doubt they'll get it all back, but otherwise, they pretty much got screwed. ICOs, it's a super tactical way to grab money from the public because you're saying, I'm going to give you a secret no one else knows about before I put it out there. And if you have that, and you bought it per se AGI, perfect example. A great ICO though, because I know the company SingularityNet as a whole created a humanoid artificial intelligence robot, and they're working to have Singularity within the next 5 to 7 years. Probably sooner, we're going to have robots in our freaking houses doing dishes for us. Just like the movies. Hey, I don't mind. As long as that sucker don't turn on me, but guess what? Grab you a screwdriver, straight through the wire socket there, and you should be all right. Robots are likely super strong. Hopefully by that time we have super skeletal uniforms we can wear. I'm actually thinking about developing one myself for at least your arms, to be super strong on your arms. But you need to support the back and the legs, otherwise you'll probably collapse. However, if you can utilize hydraulics on a robot that's not too heavy to carry yourself and thousands of pounds, why not? Military does it. Anyway, let's see. An anonymized record of every Bitcoin transaction is stored on a huge public ledger known as a blockchain. Therefore, guess what you can do? You can trace back all the way back to the address that sent or received the Bitcoin and or whatever other cryptocurrency it is. So I ultimately don't really know how they're going to say, banning the anonymized part unless they force them to use ones that are centralized. Hey, what about that Ripple? Ripple acts kind of like a decentralized in a way, but it is super fast transactions, which is awesome. American Express bought into them as well did Microsoft. So I wonder who's getting the biggest part of the deal on that. Hey, get rid of Bitcoin so we can use Ripple. I'm not saying that's what's happening. I'm just saying, you got to think outside the box sometimes. Everybody thinks, it has no value because I have people that work all the time. Oh, it has no value and ain't worth nothing. You can't buy anything with it. Can't do this, can't do that. Just because they don't have a Bitcoin teller at every single place you go does not mean you cannot buy stuff with it, okay? Because when you got folks buying Lambos and houses and paying off all of their debt with it for however they do it, because all they have to do, use your mind, is convert it into cash Oh, well, they're just spending cash in it. Yeah, but it was still because of Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever they made the money off of. They send it back to Coinbase as a home. They transfer it to their US dollar account or their bank account or whatever account they have linked to it that allows them to withdraw to that. There's your money. What do you not understand? It's value. It's value because of hype. It's value because of speculation. Who cares? It's value. If you can make $80 million this year, hypothetically, if you can make $80 million this year on something that has no value, but you can make $80 million, and you knew that, would you do it? Or say, nah, it ain't got no value. I'm not gonna do that. It doesn't have any value. It's not worth anything. Who cares? You have to learn how to invest. It's called opportunity. It's called taking advantage. Carpe diem. Seize the moment. Seizing the moment is cryptocurrency now. Cryptocurrency 2 to 5 years from now might be so regulated or so restricted, or I mean, they might be like, hey, anybody caught using crypto, we're going to arrest you. Guess how many people are going to stop using it? A lot. But guess what? All the people that still want to use it and trade it for whatever they're doing illegally, because guess what? That's the goal, is for them to be like, oh, nobody can do anything illegal. That would be the only risk. And however, transactions made with the cryptocurrency are irreversible, which makes investors in Bitcoin attractive targets for cyber criminals. There will always be hackers who can hack anything. If it's electronic and they know how to hack, likely they grew up with computers or whatever type of thing they use to learn how to hack. And they could probably learn how to backdoor themselves into anything. You have teams working with the NSA and the DHS and all these companies, the CIA and information technology and FBI, blah, 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 that all have coders and firewall experts and backdoor hackers, and they have hackers that work for them that do these things. I mean, the government's the one, the FBI is the one that seized Silk Road. I mean, the website, you know, I mean, it can be done. Don't be stupid. Don't be naive, but also, don't have all your money in one spot like we discussed before. Put it in multiple places if possible. If you have 5 exchanges and 3 get locked down, but you still have 2 that have a good amount of trading or money or whatever it is that you have in there, guess what? You didn't lose. You still have it here. But guess what? If you only have this one and you're coddling it very well and you protect your basket. Now, I've heard that before from a rich man, but you're protecting your basket, but that's your only basket, and then that basket gets burned. Well, I guess I'll go back to work. Hey, work, nothing wrong with it. I love work. I work all the time. I work when I don't need to work. I build everything. I fix everything. I'm always doing something. I'm super go, go, go. But I want to tell you, like eToro, cryptocurrency trading platform, never even heard of it. But what I will say is that don't be scared. Don't follow all the clickbait right here. I've seen this like 35 times now just because I researched Bitcoin, and phones are smart. They travel they record everything you search. Bitcoin is dead. This will make investors rich in 2018. Likely they're talking about some tech company or some new blockchain company or whatever transaction method. Let's click on this and see what it brings up. It's probably going to bring up one of these stupid things that's going to tell you they're going to make you rich in trillions of dollars because it's a multi-trillion-dollar industry, blah, blah, blah. But what it is